Good night and welcome to another review of The Shield Dude in the Couch. I'm Hector, The Shield Dude in the Couch, and tonight I'm gonna talk about the new album by Ghost called Impera, which means Latin for rule, and it came out this week. This is the follow-up to the band's highly popular 2018 release Prequel, which was an album that was more rooted in the Dark Ages and in the Plague. So this album is an album that goes more into the future and explores different themes that they didn't explore on their previous release. So I gotta say from the beginning that this is a really fun album that I really enjoyed. It's an album that, has some great melodies to it, some great hooks, and something that Tobias Forge does really well is that he can take those pop sensibilities and include them into rock and metal. And not a lot of bands can do that, and Ghost has done it now for years flawlessly and keeps improving in the way that they sound. They can, you can say all you can say about Ghost, they're gimmicky, sometimes they sound like Scooby-Doo music, but at the end of the day, they write some great songs with some great hooks that really stay in your mind. And on Impera is still what they're doing. So this on this review, I'm gonna say what I liked about the album, what I thought wasn't that great, and an overall opinion of what I thought overall. So Impera has 12 songs, it's 46 minutes in length, so it is a decent runtime. It goes by pretty fast, and this is an album that really pays homage to the 80s and the 70s. To me, this is an album that would have come out in those ages. It would have been great. There's some songs that really sound like they're inspired by Queen. For example, Kaiserion, which is the second song in the album, which follows the first song, which is more of an instrumental. And on that song, it starts really operatic, and Tobias Forge screams his lungs out like, ah! And when he does that, you know that you're really in for a fun treat. And that's a really fun track and a really great way to open up the album. Then it goes into Spillways, and Spillways is a 2 minute and 24 second song that is really fun. It's really catchy, you could feel like some ABBA vibes to it, but with some rock, some great guitar to it, and it's a really fun song. And something that I really loved about this album was the first half. I thought the first half of the album is really strong, really memorable. My favorite song from the album is in the first 5 songs, and it's called Watchers in the Sky. And oh my god, that song has some really great singing to it. It's more long, so it has got more proggy elements to it, more Rush, if you will, influences to that song. And that was my favorite song of the album, and it's really great. They had a few singles that they released prior to the album coming out, like Call Me Little Sunshine and Hunter's Moon, that they have more of that commercial appeal, but they're really hooky as well. And I really think that they're very strong songs, and they make the album good because they're very good. And Hunter's Moon, I think I really like the lyrics to it, and I like the chorus when they're talking about Hunter's Moon. I thought it was really catchy. And Call Me Little Sunshine has some great melodies to it, and I think Tobias Forge sounds great in it. So now I want to talk about a song that I thought that was really interesting and kind of dividing between people, and that's the song 20s. 20s is a song that has that Middle Eastern feel in some of the parts of the guitar, even though it's a pretty metallic song. But there's some parts when they have that Middle Eastern element. And it was funny to me because when I was listening to the song, I kind of reminded me a little bit of 50 Cent's Candy Shop for some reason, because they both had that Middle Eastern feel. And obviously it's a very campy song, he's talking about the 20s and he's cursing, but it's a really danceable song. That's another thing, when I was listening to that song, I thought that I really could dance to it. So it's a really interesting song that I think can divide people, but at the end of the day, I thought it was really fun. And the album then, there's some parts in the second half, like Redwood, that they're good, but I think they're not as memorable as the songs in the first half of the album. But the album finishes super strong with Respite of the Spita Fields, which is, you know, a really interesting song that ends the album on a very high note. It's a very kind of prog, epic kind of song, very operatic, and I thought it rounded out the album pretty well. So at the end of the day, I can say that Impera by Ghost, you know, it's a very fun album. It's a great album, you know, when you think about it. I think, I don't know if I liked Prequel a lot, but I think that this album has more catchy songs to it. And I think there's a lot of songs here that could be singles. And I think Tobias Forge sounds great on it. I got the vinyl for Revolver. So inside, I'm going to show it to you so you can see what the vinyl looks like. I got it in red because, you know, red looks more metal. And it has the booklet, which has, you know, there's a picture of Papa Emeritus, and it has all the lyrics, pictures. And I can say, I heard this album today to review it, and I heard it on vinyl, and I heard it digitally, and you know, on vinyl it sounds so good. You know, this is a band that was meant for their theatrics, and you know, that's something that right now it's missing a lot of metal and rock bands, and I think that Ghost does it very good on this release. So what did you think about this album? Did you like it? Do you think they're overhyped? Let's comment. Tell me what your favorite tracks of this album were. Tell me what you thought about it. Tell me if you think that, you know, that there's bands that does what Ghost does better. And don't forget to give me a like, subscribe if you like what you're seeing, and, you know, share this with some friends that like music. And as always, this is Hector, the Shield to the Couch, and I'll see you right here next time on the couch. Thank you and good night.